All right. Welcome everyone to today's meet and greet. It's April 29th, 2023. Each of us will introduce ourselves to you as the leadership behind the Accra network. Women Who Code has a lot of networks around the world in various countries and sometimes multiple cities within a country. And I have the privilege of having launched the Accra network, which is the first West African network for the organization. So my name is Efia Owusu-Fofie. I mainly help with advisory and delivery of SaaS and Tableau workshops for the organization. The next person that I'll hand this over to is Dr. Angela Zuma-Alu. So Angie, your turn.
Okay. Hi, everyone. So my name is Angela. I mainly support with Excel in your career workshop. So they deal with career development and then with communications. So it's nice to meet you, Constance, and everyone else.
Thank you, Angie. Ikuya, over to you.
Hi, sorry, I actually dropped off, so I don't know how we got here. I just joined in.
We're introducing ourselves. Angela and I have already introduced ourselves, and so it's the turn of.
Okay, all right. Hi. Hello. Ikuya Oseyewahimkra. I work as an operations manager at EI Information Systems, a software development company, and I'm a co-director of Women Who Code Accra.
Thank you. Nabia.
Hi, everyone. So I work as a tech consultant with Ernst & Young. I also a co-director with Women Who Code Accra, supporting with marketing and excelling your career.
So the next group supporting friends. One is called Elizabeth Addo. She's very familiar with the artificial intelligence space, and she's our technical lead. Then we have Farai, who helps us with surveys. And then there's Perpetual Breachum, who's the evangelist and support marketing and promotions. There's a statement on Women Who Code of Conduct that I'll read to you. Women Who Code is an inclusive community dedicated to providing an empowering experience for everyone who participates in or supports the community, regardless of gender, identity and expression, sexual orientation, ability, physical appearance, body size, race, ethnicity, age, religion, socioeconomic status, caste, creed, political affiliation, or preferred programming languages. And if you want to read the full code, the link is below, womenwhocode.com/code of conduct. And if you have any questions or issues, you can always submit it to contact@Women Who Code. So at this point, I will ask those who are also joining us to introduce themselves. I think Constance is the trooper who made it through the registration hassle, so welcome.
Yes, well, my name is Constance A.B. My background is in accounting, and one family member convinced me to to add other skills, programming, Python and machine learning. So I'm new. So I signed up with all kind of meetup. When I sign up with a meetup, they recommend another one. So that's how I got to know this Accra woman who codes, and I signed up. So this is my second participation. The other one, I think it was more worldwide, because I think that was a recruiter that was talking or something like that. So there were many people. So this is my second participation. That's all I can say.
Thank
And
you.
I'm not in Ghana, okay? But since this is worldwide, and I'm glad because now we have Zoom, so I can participate, virtual participation. So
Where are you located?
now I'm in London.
Oh, okay. Very
Yes.
nice. I
Yes.
have family in London.
But technically, I'm your neighbor. I'm from Ivory Coast.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
I see. I
Mhm.
see. Yeah. Did you have trouble signing in? Did they ask you for that login?
Not at all, because actually when you send that message
Mhm.
about the trouble, because I didn't put that in my calendar to remind me. So when I saw the message, I was like, oh my gosh, I need to, what time is it? And I right away, right away, I was able to get through right away. So I don't have a problem.
Okay. All right. Thank you. So Angie, are you able to read out the schedule of events that are upcoming and the meeting times? I know you have it in an email somewhere. You're on mute.
I put it in a document. So let me just share the screen.
One moment. I see Perpetual joining. I'd already introduced her, but since she's here. Perpetual.
Hi, yeah.
Hi, welcome. We did introductions and we have
Oh,
Constance here.
okay.
And let me bring your slide up so you can introduce yourself. Can you see the slide?
Yes, I can see it.
Okay, so please introduce yourself.
Okay, hi everyone. I'm Perpetual Adobia Bridgum. I hope my video is on. I can't really see it.
Yes,
Is
it's on.
okay, yes. Okay, I'm Perpetual Adobia Bridgum. I currently work with Peswa Finance as a quality assurance engineer, and I'm with Women Who Coach Accra as an evangelist, mainly broadcasting most of our programs and events, upcoming events, and then just assisting as and when required. So yes, nice to meet everyone on. I learned Constance is on. Nice to meet you, Constance. Thank you.
Thank you, Perpetual. So Angie, the floor is yours.
Okay, so can you see this?
Yeah.
Yes, so pretty much we're looking at having the averagely one event per month. Right, there are a few months that we're looking at two, and we agreed on Saturdays from 7 to 8 p.m. Right, so we're trying to do, and should I say, have quite a good blend. So there's some maybe career development activities, and then the other software as well. So for this is our first event, that's the meet and greet. And then on the 20th of May, we would have another session that's beyond the job search. Nabia will be leading that. And then in June, we'd have Python labs with IKEA. So Constance, I hope you'll sign up for that definitely. So the idea is that it would run for 2 weeks, and there would be some assignments that would be due, just so that it's not just a single session that you come up for. We already have some YouTube, some Python videos on the Women Who Code YouTube channel. So I think you can send your email so that I'll just share the link with you, and then you can take a look at that even before it comes up. Right then, and on the 8th of July, would have a talk on artificial intelligence, including ChatGPT, right? Elizabeth will lead us. And then on the 29th of July, would have a session on conflict management in the workplace with Perpetual. Then in August, Ike will take us again for Power BI. So that would also run for 2 weeks and would have assignments in between. So in September, Ifya would take us for SAS and for Tableau later in the same month. So that would be September 9th and 30th. And would have an Excel in your career workshop. I would take that on the 21st of October. And then on the 11th of November, would have a session on career development. Nabi and I will take that. And on the 25th, plan is to have a networking and celebration event. And then Farah would take us through something on e-commerce or surveys on the 9th of December. So that's pretty much our plan for the year. So we have a form that is going around. We're trying to take the data of our members. I shared it in the chat, so you can complete that so we have your details as well. Thank you all. So I'll stop sharing now. Okay, so the other should I say thoughts that came to mind, right, when we're planning for this for this evening session was to possibly look at maybe sharing experiences that we might have had with Women Who Code Accra, or if we haven't had any experiences yet, perhaps some expectations that we have of why we're joining. So I think Constance, you have shared a bit of that with us. So it would be nice to maybe also get to hear the experiences of others in the various encounters that we might have had with Women Who Code. Some, should I say, especially the very positive ones, so that we're starting the year on a very good note. So I'll open it up. Anyone who would like to start. I think Ifya gave a bit of that when she mentioned that she started it, so she can just start again with us and then share her story of how Women Who Code Accra came to be.
All right, I can do that. So Women Who Code Accra, like Constance, I signed up for an event called a data science event that was happening in Washington, D.C. A co-worker invited me, at work. He's a data scientist, and so he invited me to a data science DC event. And so to RSVP for the event, it introduced me to Meetup app to do that. And so I did that, came home, and Meetup recommended Women Who Code to me. And so I decided to go visit them because at that time, my job title was Senior Programmer Analyst, and I was a woman. So I'm a woman. And so I identified with the whole Women Who Code agenda. So I visited a library in Washington, D.C., the Martin Luther King Jr. Library. And there were a group of women talking to each other and teaching themselves how to program in a very informal way. And I just loved the idea, and I had an emotional reaction that, wow, this would have made a difference when I was studying mathematical sciences at University of Ghana. Imagine what the power of women helping each other could have made a difference in my degree pursuit. And so I came back home, and for a good, I'll say, 3-4 months, the idea just didn't let me go. So I decided to contact Women Who Code headquarters, and someone called Neil Brown responded. At the time, she was the chief of staff. And I simply asked, is there a Women Who Code chapter in Ghana? And the answer was no. And so she and I began engaging about the idea of extending the branch to Ghana. But all the while, we also needed someone who was in country, because I'm based in the United States, Virginia, to be precise. And so we needed an in-country director, yes, to co-director to also go along with the program, since I am not physically based in Ghana. And so that person was Judith Abuchi, a former co-director. And we began engaging through a childhood friend. She was recommended. We kind of had similar backgrounds. We had been to the same secondary school in Ghana and the same college, and she had graduated from the same department. So we really connected quickly and began trying to teach her SAS or SAS, like Angie was saying. And we realized that back then, remote wasn't as easy as now because of, the unfortunate COVID situation. Now, remote has taken leaps and bounds, but we tried to do that, and there were some internet connection issues here and there. And then I think about 8 months later, I finally decided that I will actually take the opportunity to visit Ghana, when I had not done that in about 7 years in the United States. So it was a great trip. I met Angela, who's now a co-director and has been speaking, was one of the first attendees who participated in that first maiden event in November 2015. And so it was a set of 7 workshops, hackathon, SAS demo, Excel in Your Career, panel discussions, networking night, lightning talks, and a seminar at the computer science department, all on the University of Ghana campus. And then after that, we met people like Asabia, Patience, Chloe, Winifred, Gloria, and some of my friends who also graduated from the Mathematical Sciences program at the University of Ghana also joined. There were 2 AMAs, AMA AMA and another AMA AMMA, and they also came to support with the catering and also sharing their stories of how they triumphed in the technology space and data analytics space. And so that's a bit about Women Who Could. And now we have our 4 directors and tech leads who are here. I think Ikuya's first moment was at a BBC filming of our network. Ikuya, why don't you share a bit about that? How did you find out about Women Who Could?
Hi. Yeah, so I think the way I found out about Women Who Could is probably similar to maybe Constance. For me, with my workplace, I started as a programmer analyst, and where I worked, I was the only female. So I was looking for some community where there were like other women who could and what their experiences were. So while searching on my laptop, I actually got to know about Women Who Could. So went to the global sites, read about them, found out that there's a chapter in Accra and there was an event that was coming up. So I decided to sign up for that. And coincidentally, that happened to be the event with the BBC interview. So that was held at, I believe it was Sorunko in Accra, Sorunko Academy in Accra. So I went for that event, and we had a very interesting event. That was my first event, and I was very happy with it. So I decided to fully join Women Who Could, and I've been part of it, taking part in or taking advantage of the opportunities that I've had, either leading or working with Chloe. I believe at that time I was working with Chloe on the Python. So I was just helping her out and working with her on that. And currently I'm leading the Python workshops. So that has been my experience. And I've met wonderful women. I mean, that definitely it's the important part. I've met wonderful women that we've who are in tech, and we share ideas and we share knowledge. So that's very interesting. Yeah.
Very cool. You are a wonderful woman too. You're like a Wonder Woman when it comes to Python and Power BI. All right. I think, Angie, I kind of stole your thunder a little bit, but tell us your women who could. I don't know why I keep saying woman.
Okay, so I think mine ties in a bit with Ife's should I say with her setting it up in Ghana. So I saw the ad for they were organizing something about women who code. I was like, okay, I'm in finance. I'm not exactly a woman who code, but I liked the idea of the Excel in your career workshops, because I do a bit of, should I call it a bit? Like I assist people with recruitment and then with preparing for interviews and other things like that. So I was always looking for opportunities to grow in that area. So then I signed up for I think I actually sent Ifya a message, and then they said it was open to everyone, like even though I was in maybe finance economics. So I signed up for it, went for the Excel in your career workshop, and I absolutely loved the concept. So the idea was that you were interviewing for a job, but in this case, because it wasn't an actual interview, you had room to make mistakes. Because if you didn't do well, there were no consequences, in quotes, that you weren't going to get the job, but you'd get feedback on your CV on what you did right or what you didn't do right, what you needed to improve on, which is pretty similar to what I was doing already. So I just thought it was a great opportunity. And I really loved the feedback that I got too, because they gave me feedback on my CV, on what I did and all. And I think since then, I also joined them fully. So, and somehow opportunities came up to kind of also assist others. I think when I started, there was a friend of yours in the US that like I was working with. I've forgotten her name, because she actually sent some job descriptions.
It would either be Christina or Jill at that point, or not any of them.
I think she was Asian or so.
Oh, Samantha.
Yes, I think it was Samantha. Samantha.
Okay.
Yes. So then we've done a lot of the Excel in your career workshops. I think we did some, and we've done some in Accra. I think a lot of them were in person, and then Ikea and I had the opportunity to go to Kumasi. I think, yes, we went to Kumasi to do that for some students at the Garden City University. And yeah, it's been interesting doing all of that. And then I think recently too, last year we had an Excel in your career work session that talked about remote work, but we haven't done one on interviewing for remote jobs. I'm just realizing that now. So I think that's something that would definitely have to do, because it's quite a different experience. Yeah. And I think there have been times that we've had real jobs that we've interviewed people for, right? They may not always have gone as well as planned, but that has also been pretty exciting. Right? So that's been my experience. Thank you.
All right. Nabia, your turn.
Okay, so my experience with Women Who Code, I discovered it on Meetup. It was a introductory training for Power BI with Ikea and Angela. That's where I met the two of them. That was pre-COVID. And that was an interesting experience. It was an eye-opener as to what I could do with Power BI. And data as well. And from then on, I think I had an interview prep session with Ifya and Angela for a role that was posted a while back. And that's where I met Ifya. And it's gone on from there, become a co-director for Women Who Code.
Thanks, Nabia. Perpetual, your turn.
My internet has been worrying me this evening, so I've been in and out of the call. But let me I hope I can be heard loud and clear. So from my end, I had been working in the IT department as an application support specialist. I wasn't really doing anything coding until I think it was late 2019 or so. That's when I started looking at possible moving into the possibility of moving into that field. So I started searching online, and that's when I came across Women Who Code, and I wanted to be part of a community where I could start learning informally before I actually move into the field. And that's where I met Angela. I got in touch with her. I think the very first time it was supposed to be a physical meeting at, was it Eddie's Pizza or so? I remember. And I was driving all the way there when I learned the meeting wasn't going to come off and I had to go back home. But it's been constant communication and I've been part of it. And I mean, for me, it was mainly being part of a community, learning from each other and possibly taking leadership roles. So I volunteered with roles available so that I could just be fully involved. And I think it's been so good. Interesting enough, it was on Women Who Code WhatsApp group that I found the job that I'm currently doing. Like me wanting to move into coding or doing more technical IT job. It was on Women Who Code's WhatsApp group that I found the job opening. I got in touch with the one who had posted it, and I find myself now working in the field. So for me, I think it's been very beneficial. The community has been great, especially the emails and newsletters that comes almost every now and then. So many things to learn from that, and the programs that are organized like annually, joining some of them virtually, listening to some of the speakers, and so far so good. I've had a good time and I know there's more to come. So yeah, that's been my journey for joining Women Who Code Accra. Thank you.
If you're
Thank
sorry,
you.
before you come in, Perpetual, I remember,
Yeah.
and like I think it was one of the reasons why we're so glad the online somehow it was easier for people to join the online events than the in-person events.
Yeah.
And fun fact, Perpetual, we need to do a longer story on your story because it's so cool. And fun fact, Perpetual's husband and I were classmates from fourth grade.
Yes.
So when she joined, I was like, on my social media, Kweku will also be posting. I'm like, I think it's the same lady. And she confirmed that, yes, it is. So yeah, that was pretty cool to find out. Constance, do you have any questions for us? I think we'll be wrapping up.
If you're Farai,
Farai hasn't shared her story. I'm sorry. Okay, Farai.
Hi, everyone. Thank you. So for me, I saw a post on Twitter about a scholarship. I think it was for Linux. for Women Who Code, and then I went on the website, I applied, and then there was information about the group, and I sent an email. There was, if you want to join, volunteer, and then Angela reached out, and I was impressed by her, specifically like a PhD in finance and the things she was telling me about the group, and I did want to join. Cool women doing cool things. Sorry about the background noise. So I then I was telling her that I want to change. It was learning, signing up for courses in data science and data analytics. And then she suggested that I do a survey. So that's how I got involved with Women of God.
Thank you for sharing, Farai. Angie, thanks for putting all of us on the spot for that, but it was nice to know. All right, Constance, do you have any questions for us?
No, I don't. You know, that
All right.
was that it's been a very interesting experience for me, because though it's virtual, I don't know if it's because it's a smaller group, but it's like family, you know. No, honestly speaking, you know, I feel
Yeah.
like I know you, you know, it's been a while ago that I've been knowing you ladies. So I'm excited. I'm
All
excited.
right. We hope to see you at more of our events too.
Yes, definitely. Definitely.
All right, ladies, we have 3 minutes time back. Enjoy the rest of your evening in Ghana and in London, and I'll do the same here.
Okay.
I thank
Bye.
you, everyone.
All right, thanks.
Yeah.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye.
Bye.